All right, so this is Nuke. Welcome to Nuke. Objective of the game is to come across our enemies, our opportunities, eventually reach the nuclear designated point, face the final boss, beat the final boss, and disarm the nuke. I'm player one. This is my avatar. I have chosen the class Cowboy. Each class has multiple passives. One of the passives I've chosen a Cowboy for is his serrated blade. So everyone starts with a melee weapon. That's your first weapon. After that, you can acquire more weapons in opportunities, but your base weapon is a melee weapon. One of his passives is serrated, which causes bleeding damage. So it's a nice little boost at the start of the game. We're going to make our first move. There's no dice, we don't roll. We just have to alternate between opportunities and enemies, and our first tile is always an opportunity. We can't move diagonally, only to a square that's adjacent to it. All right, so we've moved on to an opportunity. If you can imagine this scaled down to that size, or scaled up, either or. Every time we come across an opportunity or an enemy, we flip it, and eventually the whole board will be revealed. As you can see, we've come across a cave. If we choose not to access the opportunity and the loot inside, we can always come back to it. But once you go in, that's it. You can't come back. I'm going to choose to come back to it when I'm stronger. There's pros and cons of leaving it and going in. If I go in now, there's a chance I could take massive damage, but I'd walk away with some decent loot. But I don't want to take that chance yet. I'm going to take my chances with my passive, the serrated blade passive. And then we're going to just pretend player 2, player 3, player 4, they've had their go. Next turn is mine. Again, we can only move adjacent, so we can't move diagonally. We can only move here or here. I choose to go here. And keep in mind, this board will probably increase in size by the end of it. And we'll have more tiles, more enemies, more opportunities, that kind of thing. And we've come across a robot. So the robot enemy is more invulnerable to melee weapons. Like the mutants, the human enemies are most vulnerable to melee weapons. I still haven't decided whether the first encounter with an enemy will be human or not, but we're just going to do a robot today. Because of my serrated passive, so every enemy starts off with 100 points, my blade, instead of doing 20 points of damage, will do 35. So I'll take 2 hits once I defeat the enemy. We'll just put my avatar back here, and on my actual class card, I'm just going to use 5-cent pieces for damage counters, and we'll just put 2 damage counters. That's representing 40 points of damage taken. So each hit of the robot was 20 points of damage. Luckily, I could have been worse if my passive wasn't active and I didn't have the serrated blade. But yeah, so that's an opportunity turn and an enemy turn at the very start of a game of Nuke.